man like Roy Keane.
Here we go. We can talk about this guy all day.
And this is what they want to hear.
This is what people want to hear. I'll talk about him.
They want to know about Roy. Like, what is he like? Like, what's Roy like?
Roy's unbelievable, to be fair. Roy, but when I used to play with him, he could lose it. Like, you think 1 minute he's smiling, 2 minutes later he wants to fight someone. But the standards he sets on the training pitch was the best ever. I'd always used to speak to him and say, what do you feel like when you come here and play with in the national team? Obviously, he loved it and enjoyed it, but the standard was totally different to what he was at Man United. He's firing balls into Dwight, Eric Cantona, and players like that, Scholes, Beckham, Giggs. The list goes on. And that's not to say us as internationals weren't, but we weren't at that level.
Yeah.
So sometimes when the passes weren't going astray, he would get frustrated, but he did train how he played. We once had an 11v11. We used to play the under-21s against the first team on a Thursday, and he was just kicking lumps out of this young kid. But they were both going there, but they're both from Cork, and they were just both going at it, but it was brilliant. But Roy was Roy, and I got on well with him, to be fair, because I just wanted to know what made him so good and what took him to that next level, and he was brilliant. And then what happened in the World Cup was crazy.
Yeah. What was
and
that?
I think that's what people like to hear.
People like to hear, people like to, because honestly, I remember, I was a young lad at the time, but I knew about Roy. Yeah, I mean, you don't mess around with Roy.
No, you don't mess around with him. What he was, he went and met, I think, Mick McCarthy before we qualified for the World Cup. He said he needed things done properly. He was one of those. He wanted it, because the head of the FAIs, they used to travel first class and we'd be in economy. He said, we're not having that, we're the players. So he changed it once through a flight where we went to first class and they were back there in the little squash seats. That's the pool that Roy Keane has in Ireland.
Serious?
So he was the man like that. But he said to Mick McCarthy, he wanted things done properly. So we got to where we were staying in Saipan in Japan, and then we were training, but the pitch wasn't the best. So I can understand he's losing his head now where the pitch is not the best. And then our kit don't turn up. So hold on, we're walking around in our tracksuit. So he, by this point, is boiling. So he says he's going home. So the first day we got there, no one really knows this. He said, I'm going home. This is not done properly, I'm going home. So some of the lads have to go and see him and say to him, no, we need you to stay. So he stays, he changes his mind, and he's back in his room the next morning, he's happy. So we're training, and the goalies go out early to train. So then we have all the kits and that's come after that. But so the goalies go out early to train. So we're doing a game, and at the end we got a game. But the manager Mick goes, no goalies. At this time, Roy's fuming. How can we have no goalies when they're having a five-a-side? So he's fuming. He wants to go and argue with Packy Bonner, who's the goalkeeping coach. He wants to square up to him. He argues with Shay Given. So the arguments are going on and on and on. And then that was it. So I'm on the beach with him. This is the night it all kicked off. I'm on the beach with him. We're walking. So he's talking about, make sure you come in this setup and you play in and you want to play, and talking about how I should progress at football and what I should do, work as a striker. So he was brilliant for me, I'm real. And then we get we have a dinner, so we're eating, and I remember it because Roy Keane was there, Steve Finnan was here, and I was sat next to Finnan, so I was 2 away. And at the end of dinner, you always have a sing-song. So we're singing the Irish songs, as you know, I do know all the Irish songs, not really. But then we're singing them here, so we're having a great sing-song. Next thing you know, Mick McCarthy comes storming in, because he didn't want no one to do any press. But obviously Roy's done an interview with an Irish media, and it's been leaked that he weren't happy with how it is, so he's got the hump. So I cannot believe, maybe Mick could have done it in a different way where he didn't need to, confront him in front of everyone, because Roy doesn't like that confrontation in front of everyone. So they were. And I think there's something that boils back to them when Roy was a youngster playing for Ireland. He was late maybe for the coach, and Mick was the captain, and they squared up to each other. So I think there's a bit of history there anyway. So Mick said to him, what are you doing here? He said, what do you mean? I'm telling them how the setup is here. So they're arguing, and then Mick's going back at him, and Roy's like, listen, I'd never respected you as a manager. I don't respect you as a player. He said you had a bad first touch. And he said, you're not even Irish or English. Oh. So obviously, me being born in England, I put my head under the table thinking, I hope he don't come for any of the other English that were born there. But no, it was, and then all in all, he got up and said, come on, Mick, make a decision. And I think Mick McCarthy had to make the decision to send him home, because he disrespected him in front of all the players. And if you disrespect the manager, I just think it could have been handled better because we went and finished in the last 16 then. And I think with Roy, we lost to Spain on penalties. We could have gone further in that game because we just needed our leader to push us through. But listen, he's a tremendous player and I still see him now and I have a smile about him and everyone says he is moody and that's just the way he comes across. But when you get to talk to him, which I know him well, he's a good guy.